Today, I'm here to remind you that you are enough. You are enough in everything that you have, all the skills, all the tools, all the co creators around you. We are enough just how we are. I want you to know that you are enough today. How you stand, where you stand is enough. Come as you are. You are enough. You got this. Typically, we think of meditation as closing our eyes, crossing our legs, and zoning out, getting into that space. But the actual definition of meditation is a written or spoken discourse expressing considered thoughts on a subject. I find that when I wake up at 4:30 in the morning and I am in a peaceful state, either doing my skincare, putting on makeup, getting clothes on, cleaning up the kitchen, listening to my teachings, learning, listening to an audiobook, whatever it is that I'm doing early in the morning, it allows me to meditate. It allows me to take a scenario or a situation, a thought, and I can expand upon it and elaborate on how I feel, figure out how I feel about it, and figure out how I want to feel. It gives me the opportunity to meditate, to consider that thought in all aspects of it, so that when I'm presented with that, I know for sure how I feel, and I've evaluated how I feel, and I'm okay with how I feel. Now, when meditating on a thought like that, real life stuff, I find it very important to be able to get a hold of yourself at some point and finalize that thought and move on. In the early morning hours, I find it very easy to drift into another land and stay there for quite some time. So when we're meditating on these specific thoughts, ideas, situation, contrast, whatever, it's important to make our stance with it and make sure that it's a positive stance, one that is the path of least resistance for us, one that's going to make us feel good, one that we are proud of. And also make it a point to not ruffle the feathers within that again. So in this part of my life, I am finding that it's time for me to be open and open my home up, right? My husband and I are having conversations about having his mother to come live with us so that she can begin to enjoy her retirement years instead of, continuing to sacrifice and have a whole bunch of expenses for herself. And so during this time, I am pondering these thoughts of how I feel in certain scenarios, and am I comfortable if this is something that I really want to do, and I'm coming into alignment with myself, with the truest and highest version of myself and who I am. And once I make that determining factor, it's okay for me to close that chapter and seal that chapter and move on to something else. So my whole point for saying this is getting yourself in alignment is an everyday, all day job. And it just doesn't happen when you're sitting in silence with your eyes closed and you are uploading and receiving. Because the fact that we are energetic beings, the fact that we vibrate off of our emotions, that those things that tell us how we feel is our energy in motion. We are beaming energy all the time, 24/7. We're receiving, we're giving, we're offering, we're receiving, we're attaching to things all day, every day. It doesn't stop. And so since we are energy in motion, we are receptive to things even when we are washing the dishes. even when we are putting on our face for the day and getting dressed. The question is, are you really in tune with thyself? Because things are supposed to work out for us. Things are supposed to work out for you. Everything is supposed to work out for you, and it does. It does. Everything is always working out for you. The question is, are you in that receptive state to acknowledge it? Can you see it? Things are always working out for you. Do you see it? Do you see how they're working out for you? And it's easier to be in tune with thyself when there's no one else for you to be attentive to. It's easy for me to be in tune with myself in the 4 o'clock hour, or whenever it is I decide to wake up. Today it was the 2 o'clock hour. It's easier for me to do that when I don't have to be distracted with other energies in the room or the vicinity, and I don't have to worry about work or my craft and different things like that. So meditating and being receptive is a 24-hour job, and you don't have to only be subject to it with your eyes closed and Indian style position. Or can we say it a different way? Being a vibrational frequency, being an active energy that has the capability to attach itself to whatever it's around is a privilege. It's a privilege that we get to choose, be decisive, make these choices of what we're going to link up with and what we're not via our emotions, our energy and motion. It seems like it would be a simple job to just be around things that make us feel good, people that make us feel good, and we do most of the time. Have thoughts that make us feel good, and we do most of the time. We're doing such a great job, and we're working on ourselves. But it's a job that's never done, and it's a privilege that's never fulfilled. It's an obligation. It's an honor. It's the power that always exists. That's why we will always exist. If you've been an individual who have experienced trouble with meditating, I want to challenge you today. And this challenge is also to those individuals who meditate with no problem as well, but specifically those who have found it very challenging to meditate the traditional way. I have something for you. I want you to wake up a couple of hours earlier than you normally would. Wake up a couple of hours earlier than you normally would. This means that you may need to go to bed a couple of hours earlier than you normally would. Because the idea is for you to wake up on your own, for you to feel fully rested. You wake up, you might stretch, you might go to the bathroom. That's your wake up call there. You don't get back in the bed. Do something for yourself. Pay attention to your thoughts and where they go. Write them down. Choose what thought you want to focus on, a situation, whatever. Figure it out. Play the different scenarios in your head. Create an image. Create a script. Create a movie within that thing. Get to a place that you settle your heart on something that's acceptable for you. Don't force your thoughts. Just allow it to flow naturally. Abraham Hicks says the 16-second rule. You start thinking about something for 16 seconds and the momentum is going to build up. The law of attraction is going to kick in and give you more thoughts like it, and more thoughts like it, and more thoughts like it. And the next thing you know, you would have cleaned your entire restroom, took a whole shower, got yourself prepared, picked up things around the house, put your face on, polished your toes, whatever. You would have busied yourself, and you would have come to the answers from within. Because remember, all is truly within. You have all the answers and everything you need right there inside of you. So I want you to take this whole stigma of meditating away. Take the negative belief that it has to be done a particular way at a particular time. No, these are things that just have worked out for other people, right? These are times that have just worked out for other people, but that's not the only way to do it. You're able to align and connect yourself in a meditative state to unravel your real life circumstances just by tapping into yourself the effortless way. I challenge you. And don't just use this technique when you have a lot on your plate or when you have problems and need to figure things out. Don't be rude to yourself like that. Give yourself the permission to experience this every day, to allow yourself to adjust to the world and what's going on around you, to tap into who you really are. And it's not going to be easy. It might not be easy the first time, the second time, the third time, or the fourth time. But repetition is the key. The more and more you do this, the easier and easier it will become. And one of my great mentors always says, one who is connected to the power of Source, one who is connected to the God within them, is more powerful than tens of thousands who are not. So you're giving yourself the benefit of the doubt and advancement on the rest of the world when you decide to connect to the God within you. And it's free 99. And I promise you, you'll have a successful day, and you would have gotten more done in your day than you would on the days that you didn't utilize this method. I promise you. That is the first challenge of this message. Oh, don't worry. We're going to get to the idea of it being a Band-Aid or bondage. Is it a Band-Aid or is it bondage? Is it a Band-Aid that you say, oh, I'm not good at meditating, so I don't do it at all? Or is that idea, that negative belief, holding you in bondage? Don't worry. I have a lot more to say. How you see yourself is how you'll be. How you see yourself is how you be. I recently created this word. It's herception, H-E-R, herception. And this is the image that she has of herself, the picture that she has of herself, how she acknowledges herself, how she allows herself, how she protects herself, how she sees herself, the picture that she has of herself. Today, I'm here to remind you that you are enough. You are enough in everything that you have, all the skills, all the tools, all the co-creators around you. We are enough, just how we are. I want you to know that you are enough today. How you stand, where you stand is enough. Come as you are. You are enough. Because I am enjoying the work of Maxwell Maltz and Neville Goddard, and I'm really taking on this whole perception of thyself type of thing. See, often we think that we understand ourselves and we think that we hold ourselves of high value, and we can think that we are confident until our confidence is tested. And it's tested because we're presented with a real life scenario and it connects to something that has happened in our past. That's how we're tested. See, we're tested every day, all day. But where your attention goes is where your energy flows. And your attention is can only focus on those things that you have experienced, right? That are unfinished. It's like if it rains and you put the water resistant coating on your car, it doesn't matter if it rains or not because it's going to bounce off because it's not applicable. See, we have all types of stuff that are available to us all day and every day, but we don't see half of the stuff because it does not apply to us in our world, right? But when it does apply to in our world is when we have announced that we are being tested, because this is a challenge. This is something that we have not fully conquered in our world, although we proclaim ourselves as this and that. Are you really? It's not the idea of presently not taking on the attitude of being confident or compassionate or loving, because right now we are. But the real part of us, the real picture that we have of ourselves is that we aren't. It's like we're trying to fake it until we make it. And that's a great strategy. I highly recommend faking it until you make it. There's another step under that. See, to put a Band-Aid on a situation is to fake it until you make it. Okay, I'm going to put this Band-Aid over it. This bandage, I don't have to look at it right now. I don't have to worry about it right now. I'm going to redirect my attention. That is classic, and it's a beautiful technique. But some of us have Band-Aids all over us because we have failed to go back to clean up those wounds so that they can properly heal. And what that means is figuring out where the root of that problem is, telling the story from a different perspective, forgiving ourselves, rebranding ourselves, claiming ourselves as whole and complete, and then coming back into the present and allowing all of that manifestation to create a powerful future for us so that we can't be tested on that particular subject anymore, because we're going to be like the car that's coated with the water repellent. It won't affect us. It won't be a signal that is a detection of error within our system. We won't respond to it. I'm enjoying this journey of self-discovery. And it's not discovering what I like and don't like. It's like, no, it's like those core things that are foundational things of a person, like really tapping into those things and really cleaning up those things and really going back in my past and being real with myself and cleaning those things up one by one. That is the work. One of the aspects that I'm working on within my personal journey is being clear. See, often I felt misunderstood, and that is because I also felt I was not fully capable of expressing myself in a way that others would be able to interpret what I was saying. So that is an aspect of myself that I'm working on within my self-image. And so it's my job to figure out where that blurriness came from, where it stimulated from, and making that situation whole and complete, seeing it from a different perspective, cleaning it up, and presenting myself as a person that speaks very clear, that my thoughts are perceived and received to my co-creators in a way that can enlighten them, in a way that can make me more attractive to them, in a way that could add energy in my direction and make me relevant, necessary in their lives, you know? And as I have these thoughts of, I want to be clear, I want to be understood, the thought may have started with, I want to be understood, right? But then that's kind of like a false thought, because that's putting all the blame on the people that are supposed to receive it. Like, I'm great, I'm good, but it's something wrong with them. You know, they can't understand me. They don't get what I'm saying. when it's always never anyone else. It's always us. It's always me, me Incorporated, me Inc. So the goal is always to direct the ideas back to ourselves. So it's not that I am not being understood. It's that I am not expressing myself as clearly as I possibly can in regards to the situation, as well as the person or the people that I'm speaking to. See, it is up to me to perfect my craft and be able to articulate and be relatable to different types of people from all walks of life, from all levels, if this is my craft. Or it is my duty to obtain a universal language, which means I speak in terms that I only attract those who can hear the words that they need to hear coming from the God within me. Meaning that I have a universal language terminology that I use, and I'm confident within that. And I only focus on attracting those who are on the vibrational frequency to hear what it is that I am saying. Either way, it's always only that. But it's perspective. It's her perspective. It's her, Her, perspective, my perspective. How I want to see it. Do I want to see myself being able to water myself down, water my message down, as well as build it up and make it really potent? Do I want to have that skill and develop that skill? Or do I want to have a strict message and focus on only attracting those who can hear my message? Either way, it's kind of all the same. But that idea only became a concept when I took the control back to say, no, it's not their problem. It's a problem within me. And it's not even really a problem. It's just an improvement that I want to make, an adjustment to my self-image that I want to make. And I'm the blame. I'm the one. I'm taking on this for myself. And this is how I can alter it. I can alter it by understanding it a little better, understanding me a little better. I can alter it by finding the root of this. I can alter it by rewriting the script that made me feel that way. And the script that made me feel that way is acknowledging that my word was not powerful enough to inflect other people. So because my word, or I felt or I saw that my word wasn't powerful enough to inflict others in their lives and their lifestyle, the decisions that they made, this, that, and the other, that made me feel like I wasn't worthy, like my voice wasn't strong, like I wasn't speaking clear enough, like I did not have what it took in order to give them what they needed, as well as to give me the satisfaction of giving them what they need. So that is what I had to fix. I had to fix that circle. That's what I have to fix. That's what I'm working on fixing and recovering from, and telling a different story, and then standing up and proclaiming who I am and walking in the line of that I am. And this is just an example of a real life example, a real present example of how tapping into our self-image is everything. It's everything, but it's the work behind the scenes. That's why I came up with this piece of work, The Effortless Way. Because it's not any physical action that you have to take. It's not the struggle. It's all is really within. All is truly within. I guess it's about compartmentalizing and decompartmentalizing experiences. And it's a lot to put on a person to just, be perfect as possible in the beginning so you don't have all this shit to clean up. But the cleaning up of the shit is what graduates you to the next level in your life. Yeah. If you have yet to do so, I would love for you to join my private mastermind group. We meet every day, Monday through Friday, and we have intellectual, deep, self-realizing conversations like this every time we meet. In addition to that, we do exercises so that you can become the highest and truest version of yourself. We do them together. And we also meditate. If you have yet to join the group, I would love to have you. Links will be in the description box below.